I
Because
haven't even
I'm
got a chance to read
prepared.
it.
Okay, now I'm good.
Lol. Alright. Got my chat set up. And I do believe we are live according to OBS. Uh-oh.
Don't say uh-oh.
There we go. Oh, I was set to still recording Atlas. Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeez.
Sorry about that. Sorry about being late. Dark Disappointment, I actually got out of there pretty early. Just a bit tired, but I had some things to take care of in a different game. That said, welcome to the next episode of Edge of the Empire Star Wars. Relics of a Time Past.
What game are we playing?
I don't know. I hope the sound's coming in just right. I fiddled with the mic settings. Apparently the mic was at 100%, and that was really cutting into making it echoey. I don't have sound foam in here yet. That said, during the recording, all the sound was working right. Can anybody on stream tell me if they can hear not just me, but everyone else?
Okay, let me just quickly bump onto that stream.
Alright. Someone make some noise that's not irritating.
Alright, I've got Twitch.
Alright, we'll definitely make sure that Overkill doesn't say anything, but I didn't want to say anything, so...
Yep, I can hear you.
What about yourself? Or any of the others?
Yeah, got me. And Overkill, say something.
I can say something. I'm trying to listen to YouTube, but there's a significant delay.
Yep.
Ah, there's Rose. Or Tough, rather. Okay,
Okay,
yes.
yep, we got you.
Yeah.
And I would have responded to Tough, but I was too busy trying to actually listen.
Sad times.
Either way, again, Jonas is not here, unfortunately. So Leo is still taking a little bit of a nap, so to speak. That said, I know we're back on the station. Desric has delivered the package, but I'm going to need that overcap pretty well. I've had a interesting week.
Yeah, I can pick up with the Captain's audio log, date 2/2020 AFE. Illy and I had a disagreement about where to go after leaving Mandalore. Illy understandably wanted to pursue after her husband. I urged caution and tried to remind her we're still on a job. We have a band of pirates to attend to, and a whole lot more to worry about. But before we really got started, Leo interrupted the discussion and called me over comms. Called me Commander Paloma? I didn't catch it at first, but by the time I did, Leo was having a major memory malfunction and we had to shut him down in order to keep him from hurting himself. Illy did the best she could to salvage his systems, but I'm afraid many repair parts will be needed before Leo can be restored to operations. Putting our argument aside for the time, we returned to Rim's Hope at best possible speed. As we approached Rim's Hope, we received a distress signal from an unknown freighter. We jumped in to aid them and discovered they were under attack by pirates. After a brief encounter, we shot down one fighter and endured a half-hearted counterattack. It's a good thing, too. If the fighters had stood the ground, we might have lost. With Rose unable to fight and Leo out of commission, we're no longer combat effective. Anyway, we escorted the fighter back to Rim's Hope. We later learned that the freighter was called the Dantooine Eagle. It docked back at Rim's Hope for repairs. And once we were there, Illy set out for repair parts for Leo while Rose and I went to deliver the shipment to We made contact with her and caused a bit of a stir when the locals learned we'd shot down one of the pirate fighters. But what happened next is what really has me on edge. It was, in hindsight, or rather should have been, a rather obvious trap. I was captured by one of Mainframe's rebel contacts, and what he told me has me questioning what to do next. Warwick, after losing patience waiting on the rebellion to act, seems attempted to broker a deal with Gorana the Hutt. He's gone silent, and the rebellion fears that Gorana has betrayed him and is planning to sell him to the Empire. The Amber Rose, his ship, is impounded on Alhutta. The rebellion doesn't have enough resources to launch a proper rescue mission, so they're asking me to help them by going to Gorana and pleading for Warwick's freedom as a diversion while they send in an infiltrator to free Warwick. Meanwhile, in a confusing twist, the rebellion has identified the ISD I was captured and tortured on. The Far Runner, helmed by one Captain Alicia Hoffman. This is perplexing to me because I was interrogated by a man. The ship's current whereabouts are unknown. So, to recap, Rose is still blind and not combat effective. Leo's out of commission for the foreseeable future. We owe $50K to a, quote, friendly Hutt for repairs to our ship. We found Illy's husband, and he's gone on a murderous rampage, jumped deep into unknown space with a ship full of spice, all while seemingly under the influence of some unknown artifact. My uncle has been betrayed by a Hutt and is to be sold to the Empire. Meanwhile, the Shade is still out there hunting us, and we are no closer to identifying it or the mysterious captain who is hunting these artifacts. So what do? I don't have enough strength to take on the pirates. We don't know where Ken is or how to help him. And my uncle is currently being offered up as bait for what is surely a trap. There's no good options here. And Illy and I are about to have the biggest and probably most important argument of our lives. End recording.
Love it. Well done.
I'd be
Yeah,
very
fumbled
happy.
a little bit at the beginning.
I'd be very happy with that if it wasn't for the fact that we have 6 light on the board.
6? I haven't even rolled yet.
Well, you better roll
Oh.
too dark or something to balance it. And if you get too light, you're probably going to get kicked.
No freaking way.
Yeah.
I'll
Fuck you,
re-roll. I'll re-roll. Because if I tell Zeke I rolled too light, he's not going to believe me.
Well, roll it on the board.
Yeah, roll on 2ds. I mean, it's like, what? A 3 in 12 chance?
Well, my first roll with my dice was too light. The second one was a single dark. I will roll in game so that there's no shenanigans. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
That is the game
Far
confirming that it is all light side.
We are so screwed.
Oh my goodness.
I think we just burned every good roll we're going to get this game.
Keep in
Pretty
mind,
much.
I know
don't
that.
have to use the dark side to create some nasty events.
I think we just made the GM angry.
No.
Look, don't
no.
blame us, you blame the dice rolls.
Exactly. I mean, I don't mean to force the issue, but
Really, Lance?
Really, really, yeah.
I hate you
I
both.
wonder. I wonder what would happen if Jonas rolled. See, that would have been fine. But he's not here.
Oh my goodness.
Well, on that note, Ken dies. Desert's family is assassinated. The end.
Hey, nothing happens to Rose. Hooray! She's still as miserable as ever. It's okay.
Yeah. For some reason, she no longer has connection to the Force.
Oh man,
Oh
that
shit.
sucks.
Fuck.
All right.
There goes that plan.
All right. So I think I remember now. You guys were all back on your way, and probably this was a silent trip to the Raven right now.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Unless you were going to take an aside and go see Pith first.
That was you guys.
That was the plan, but I think Deseric's mind is elsewhere now.
Okie doke.
And there's also comm links, so it doesn't matter.
True. So, yeah, I guess we can be back on the ship and around the table discuss. So, yeah. Ellie will take a seat with Sharon and just. Alright, Captain, you said options. What are we talking about?
One of Leo's rebellion contacts reached out to me. More accurately, stunned me and kidnapped me and told me a bunch of stuff. The short version is that my uncle got tired of waiting for the rebellion to do something about my family and attempted to broker a deal with a Hutt. He's since meeting with this Hutt, he has not been heard from. His ship is impounded on Nalhutta, and the rebellion believes the Hutt he was trying to work with has betrayed him and is going to sell him to the Empire. They don't have enough resources to launch a full rescue mission. So they're asking me to go to Nalhutta and try to come to terms with the Hutt. This is all, I guess, being planned as some sort of ruse, while the one infiltrator they can spare is sent to break him out while I'm used as a diversion.
His eyes kind of narrow. So, let me get this straight. They drop the ball. They do not provide him the assistance he needs. He decides to go in without backup, possibly gets captured, and they want you to provide a distraction while they break him out, while you're supposedly negotiating in good faith.
Yeah. I didn't say they had a very good plan.
It sounds to me like they hung him out to dry.
Hence my reticence to work with them in the first place. They may be Leo's friends, and while I believed in what we were doing to help, I don't know, free, sabotage, disrupt the slave trade? I'm not a military person, and, well, I'm not my uncle. I didn't ever really want to throw in my lot with them. But if my uncle's life is in danger, and trust me, if they're selling him to the Empire, it most certainly is, I can't exactly sit around and do nothing.
Where are they holding him? Somewhere nearby?
Unknown. All the rebellion knows is he's gone silent since talking to this Gorana the Hutt. And this Gorana has reached out to the Empire with a high value target to turn over to them. Am I remembering this correctly, Zeke? They don't actually know where Warwick is, right?
They assume he's on. I believe I said I assume they think he's on Nalhada somewhere, in the deepest, dankest
That's
place
right.
he's got.
Yeah, but they don't actually know where he is. They just assume he's there somewhere.
Well, they know that his ship was impounded on Nalhada,
Yes.
so it's their best guess kind of thing.
Right. So it doesn't sound like they have a whole lot more information than we do.
It's a big galaxy if we don't know where he is.
Are you listening to yourself?
Yes.
Right. Sorry.
So what exactly are you proposing, Captain?
The moment I'm not proposing anything. I'm thinking. This whole
Well,
blasted position is terrible no matter what we do.
pretty much.
Rose kind of takes the glasses off, her aviators, looks at them a little bit, starts to like clean them with some of her cloth on her shirt. So, we have two options, and they're both not great options because they don't know where we can find your husband, Illy, and we don't know where your father is, Desric. So, both are unknown.
Uncle, and we know what system he's in. It's a lot better than jumping blindly into dark space. But putting both of those things aside for the moment, we still haven't dealt with the pirates here in this system. A debt that we owe to a Hutt. Admittedly, Borgil seems
Information on
nicer
that
than
either.
most Hutts.
Okay, sorry. So you did mention Nalhada in character?
Oh, I thought I did. Did I
No,
not?
you said that you didn't know where he was. So if
Oh,
if we're
okay.
retconning
Sorry.
that, then
Yes, so, yes. Gorana the Hutt base of operations is on Nalhada. The Works ship, the Amber Rose, has been impounded on Nalhada. So every indication is that Warwick would be somewhere on Nalhada. The rebellion is asking me to go there to plead my case with Gorana and I guess attempt to learn as much as possible. There'll be a contact there, and that contact will try and break Warwick out.
I don't
Is the
actually
general idea.
remember him, Drake saying that you're to plead the thing. I think he said you will get instructions once you get there.
Oh, okay. Am I misremembering that?
Maybe
I
I
thought
could
that
also be misremembering it too.
I thought the general premise was we need you to go there to be a distraction. You're supposed to go and talk to the Hutt
yeah.
and
Yeah,
act as a
Essentially
distraction.
it was you're going to be a distraction. You're going to meet another contact on Nalhada who will give more specific directions.
Ah, correcting the roleplay for that.
Okay.
That said, it can also be Desiree jumping to conclusions.
Yeah. So I'm supposed to go to Nalhada, meet this contact, find a way to free my uncle.
Well, I admit that jumping into wild space is not exactly... may not exactly be wise under any circumstance. But unless I miss my guess, where we currently are, you're talking about basically flying a quarter of the way around the galaxy to go after your uncle. I understand. Believe me, I get it. But we're right here. We're right on his heels, and from where I sit, going after your uncle at this point means turning our backs on my husband, on her father.
Yeah, and she is in there.
Yeah. If we go after him, and we find him, and we get that damned artifact out of his hands, then we have another person on the ship who can help with finding your uncle and getting him out. Because if the Alliance cannot properly mount a rescue operation or provide proper details about the state of your uncle, I do not have very much faith in their plan to break him out quietly while we put ourselves on the line, supposedly trying to conduct a fair deal. That would give the Hutts all kinds of reasons to come after you and this ship. To my mind, it's not a good option that they're putting on the table for you.
Desric's just sitting quietly.
Ellie, your comm goes off.
Alright, she'll... Pardon me a moment. She will step aside and... Ileana, go ahead.
Ellie, I got something. Took a bit, but found a narrow passageway. Relatively dangerous, but if you got a good pilot, you can get down it. Don't know where it leads yet. I'm about to take a look myself.
Alright. Be very careful. Fortunately, we've got a good pilot on this end, but we're trying to sort out a few things. We may be a bit yet. I'll let you...
Aye. Just to let you know, one of the drones sent back telemetry. They did find an end to it. I'm gonna go through it myself just to make sure I can find a nice safer path, but there is a planet over there. Surprising. It's way out the charts. Kind of a red sand desert.
She's gonna kind of look back over her shoulder at everyone else. Sorry, Aaron, could you say that again, please?
Said the planet is a desert planet with some red sand on it. Not heavy red, but noticeable.
Sort of a sunset, if I miss my guess.
Sounds about right.
Aaron, be very careful.
I'll take it you got something out of your time on Mandalore, huh?
Yeah, there are some other things going on here. We're a bit short-handed. But we'll put together what kind of plan we can.
Roger. I'll definitely be going with you. Unfortunately, my contacts, they don't like the look of this hyperspace lane. Less the looks of the planet we've been finding. It'll just be me.
I understand. We'll be along as soon as we can. If something happens that changes that, I will let you know.
You might want to hurry. If he's still here, he's been here for quite some time. I don't know how much longer he's going to stay if he's still here.
Alright, see what you can do to find him.
Roger. I'll wait on you to get here, though, if you're that worried.
As you wish.
There now.
Ileana, out. She'll put the comm away and just look back at the group. And I think it's probably safe to say she's close enough that they heard that.
Most likely from... They heard what Illy said. But depending on which comm you use, they may have only heard your side.
Okay. Alright. Long story short, Aaron has found a hyperspace lane of sorts. It's not charted. And it leads to a world not unlike the one you described, sweetheart.
She's staring at you. She understandingly, but it's kind of hard to describe the sight she's giving you. It's almost emotionless, but you still sense a bit of emotion, not worry, kind of like a slight darkness. Very, very slight, not maniacal or evil, but kind of like a light that's kind of slowly just came out. Like she seems to know something, whether or not she actively knows it or not.
Gotcha. She'll take a look at Desric and Rose.
So we have our next port of call then.
As far as I'm concerned, we have a direction to go. Which is more than I can say for the current situation with your uncle.
Desric furrows his brows, sighs heavily. Better call the doctor then. If Ken's under the influence of this thing, I'm guessing he's going to need more than just medical attention.
Very possible.
Desric's going to get up without saying another word and walk to the cockpit.
Desmond.
Yes, Illy?
We are not giving up on him.
Desric shakes his head and keeps walking.
Yeah, Ellie's just kind of essentially face palming at the moment.
I'm assuming you all eyes are pretty much on Desert, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I need everyone to do a perception roll.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to pull up a character sheet. If I can find it. Oh wait, I know where it's at.
3.2.
Except for Desert.
Ellie
Oh, okay.
is 1 point.
1 point what?
5 advantage.
You guys don't see anything. Oh,
At
crap.
one time, you could have actually,
Nearly had 2.3, but nope.
Yeah, the one time I could have been of use.
It's about damn time, I guess.
That felt personal.
Nah, not at all.
Okay, how much advantage
What did Sharon just do?
How much advantage did Dilly have?
1.
And Rose had 5.
Yep, 0.5.
You didn't seem to notice it, Rose. Illy, you didn't notice it at all. But Rose, you kind of have noticed something's just slightly up. It's nothing like major or threatening. It's just, did someone move a chair or something? Kind of feeling.
Alrighty. She'll take note of the funkiness of the situation and wait for Illy to leave.
Yeah, Ellie is basically in the chair at the moment, just pondering what's happened, and is effectively just, massaging her temples, sort of thing, hoping she's making the right choice, making the only choice she really can.
And Rose is just kind of sitting there with her.
Yep, just wait till Illy leaves and kind of look at Sharon if she's still there.
Well, Illy, like I said, just sat down, and you probably haven't noticed Sharon yet. That's
Oh, alright.
that said, Desric, you're in the cockpit. You said, right?
Yes.
And the doors are open or closed.
They probably would have been close.
There's a gentle tap on them.
Desert will open them.
Do you turn around?
Yeah, he's actually going to get up and go to open it.
Well, you see Sharon standing right in front of you. She's looking up at you. Her eyes are there's sorrow in them, but it's not. It's more like apologetic sorrow.
Hi. What's up?
Without saying a word, she wraps her arms around you and gives you a hug.
Desric is very, very confused and maybe a little uncomfortable.
She says, I am sorry about your uncle. And then looks up at you. But Mommy's right. Daddy can help. As can I. And even if you did choose your uncle, I wouldn't have been mad at you.
Just disappointed.
Desric takes like a long sigh and it's like, you're special, like Rose, right? I mean, I don't really understand, but you can sense things.
I'm not supposed to talk about it, but if Mommy trusts you, yes.
Desert turns. He's going to die, isn't he?
Her brow furrows. Who? Your uncle or my dad?
My uncle. Your dad's. Well, if I'm being honest, he's probably suffering a whole lot right now. Worried about you, worried about your mom. And if that pyramid is anything like the box we had, it's doing some not so nice things to his head right now. But if Mandalore taught me anything about your father, he's tough, capable. He'll be all right. The thing, the being that pursues me and my uncle, it's like nothing else I've ever experienced or seen before. None of us can stop it. And I'm abandoning him to it.
A few tears begin to drop, but she gently grabs your hand, and her eyes close. And I gotta look some stuff up.
Maybe a quick scene change to Illy and Rose
Yeah,
while
ahead.
you.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. That would be a good idea.
Okay. So yeah, Illy's just kind of. She hasn't moved. She's just shaking her head. Rose,
Moves her head towards you.
what decision would you make?
Do you want the... No, never mind.
Yes, I want the honest truth. I wouldn't ask otherwise.
If my family member or spouse was in this type of situation and I had to pick one or the other, I'd go with your situation, as much as I would be very reluctant to do. But this new artifact seems intriguing to say the least. So it's more of my attention rather than going to Nalhasa.
I can't honestly say that I care much about the artifact, except to get it away from him.
Well, if you want my proper honest answer, if there was no triangular artifact in the scenario, I would not go to any of them. I'd continue what I'd be doing.
I just can't see any other way around it. I mean, maybe if the ship had a faster hyperdrive, we could look at an option where we go after his uncle first, but we lose too much time backtracking.
She kind of screws up her face a bit. My dear, you did the right thing. We're not going to be traveling for 2-3 weeks to do 2 missions, and I'd rather travel for 1 week and do 2 missions.
Thank you. Helps a bit. I still feel terrible for him. Both of them.
You
This-
do you.
This artifact that they found that Ken has. What exactly is your plan regarding it?
To be quite honest, I have no clue. Kind of, I guess, some of my terminology, winging it. I have an idea of what it is, but if I can unlock it, or if it can be unlocked, or how to properly access it, that's the tricky part.
I'm honestly concerned. If Leo's right and that artifact has to do with the dark side. If I'm being honest, I feel like maybe you've had enough exposure to that. If there's some other side of the Force for you to learn, you have an opportunity to explore that.
Kind of stops for a second, sits back in a chair. I'll take it into consideration. I mean, you guys are lucky that I'm not pressing to go back to Felucia.
While that is true, believe me, I haven't forgotten. And my promise still stands.
Good.
But I suppose for now, I should get the ship ready to go. Are you alright here? Would you like to assist in the engine?
What'd you say, dude?
Say again?
So what'd you say? Cut out for me.
She was asking if you wanted to hang around here or assist in the engine room.
I've got more pressing matters to concern to. Give me a moment. She's going to stand up and start walking away to the cockpit.
Alright, as you wish. And Ailey will head over to engine.
Well, around about the end of it, Desert, I'm assuming you're wondering what she's doing. That, or you have a somewhat bit of a feeling.
Desric has a suspicion, but doesn't know exactly, and the little girl might not be the only one choking back tears at the moment. Desric's come to the conclusion that he's abandoning his uncle to be tortured and subjected to the same treatment that he was.
Well, the pause is good and long, and by the time Rose rounds the corner, she opens her eyes again and says, I don't sense pain, but confidence.
Desric gives a half-hearted grin. Yeah, that sounds like work. I'm gonna start plugging routes into the Navicomputer. You can stay if you want.
She does add, there was also no worry. I think he has it under control. I'm not certain. I'm sorry.
Don't be. You've done more than enough and have more than enough worry than any little girl should. Don't worry, we'll get your dad back.
And we'll get your uncle back. And with that, she does turn to leave, but sees Rose for a second and steps to the side.
Let her pass, basically. It's gonna like move into the cockpit a bit. Well, you're good here, Desric.
It's a good question, actually. I'm as well as I can be, but you raise an interesting question that I should ask you. We're headed towards, if I'm not mistaken, a planet that has a very I don't know. You remember how Mirez talked about planets that were strong with the Force? How you could hide on them?
Fondly.
I have this sinking feeling in my gut that we're about to wander into some unknown world. It's not on any star charts anywhere, and it's going to be one of those planets that Mira's mentioned. I'm not looking forward to the nightmares. And whatever nasty critters might reside on it. You've not you've not quite been yourself ever since you had your accident. And with Leo gone, let's just say Illy and I aren't exactly the muscle. What can we do to help you be whole again? Do you need money for cybernetics? Do you need some, I don't know, mysticism thing? I need you to be able to help, Rose. And quite honestly, as long as you're blind, you're not nearly as useful as you once were.
Need. It's a very interesting question that hasn't been asked of me for 15 years. What I need is already here. I have what I need. What I want, well, the list is rather large. Pressing on the want list is go back to Felucia and deal with a presence there that I felt. There was a second presence when we found the artifact, or the part of the artifact.
How?
I want to know what this little thing it is that Illy's husband has. I want to not deal with family anymore. I want to learn quicker, but learning is never a quick process.
That was a great way to not answer my question, Rose, but humoring you for a moment, what, or rather, whose family don't you want to deal with anymore?
Just anyone's. I'm not a family woman, Desric. I spent the last 6, 7 years away from mine because they were worthless.
Well, as someone with their own family issues, I can understand the desire to get away from some family members, but you're going to have to learn to rely on people sooner or later. You especially now, Rose. And you never did answer my question. How do you intend to do any of this when you can't see?
Takes her aviators off, kind of looks at them. Have a look at these. Just gives you the aviators.
Desric looks at them.
The only thing clean I keep, well, the only things I keep clean in this world are my outfit and my weapons. And those things have been dirty for the past a week or two. I spotted every single speck on those. I can see you clearly. I can see the front of his cockpit. I can see
And
to
you
about.
couldn't hit the broadside of a fighter. Darn near hit the freighter.
Just gonna stand up and walk back a bit to about here. Kind of points to the gunnery spot. I can see to about there. To the gunnery spot. That's as far as I'm gonna get. It's helpful nonetheless. It does drain me a bit, but it gives me sight, even if it's limited. I can be helpful. Combat,
So long as
I'm
it's
very
within
keen to
6
get back
feet.
into.
And the next time somebody standing 20 feet away from you draws a blaster,
Oh, do what I will do what I always do, Desric. Get up in their face and say hi. She kind of smirks a bit.
Desric just shakes his head. Right. One more liability for the road.
Oh, Desric has to deal with a liability. Kind of smirks again and starts to walk off. She leaves you with the aviators.
Hello.
Well, sounds like Rose left the cockpit.
That I
So
heard.
I guess
I haven't heard anything from Overkill.
Yeah, Desric doesn't really have anything to say.
Okay, I guess on that note, Ellie is getting the ship ready to depart, at least from the point of her duties to that regard.
I though
Point of order from last episode. I thought Desric had asked Illy to make sure we had enough resources on board.
Yes, she had mentioned that the consumables and various things like that, like to kind of streamline things, I think she would have made arrangements to have all that stuff delivered, so it was going to be there when they arrived.
yep.
Right. All right. Well, there's one more, I guess, possibly two more phone calls Desert needs to make, but he'll start with the first and the most obvious one. And that will be to calm Pith.
All right, so you're sending to come out to Pith.
Yep.
This is Dr. Pith speaking. Yes, how can I help you?
Hey, Doc. It's Desmond. Desert corrects himself as he's about to say Desert.
Ah, Desmond. What's up?
Um, can I pull you away from your duties on station for a bit? We think we have a lead on Ken, but he's likely to be in need of more help than we can provide on our own.
Understood. I'll I can't do Pith's voice today. I'll get everything ready. I've got a few extra stuff here too, in case anything gets major. Or anything is major.
Yeah. Pack a psych kick, Doc. I'm concerned that in his travels, Ken is. Well, he's been exposed to probably as much trauma as the rest of us.
Will do. I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Right. Thanks. We're in Bay, and Desert lifts off.
I forgot what
Gives
bay
off
you were
whatever.
in.
I don't remember either.
Docking Bay 94.
Okay. Well, that's one problem solved. I'm still down 2 crew. This is a terrible idea, Desmond. Desert. Desert leaves the cockpit to head towards the medical bay. So, Desric heads towards the medical bay, and he is looking for a certain droid.
Where the red dot is.
Oh, you're right. It's worse.
As soon as he left the cockpit, I knew and said he doesn't want to do this. I knew exactly what he was going to do.
Yeah, so did I. And I was just like, no, maybe there's a chance he's going to do something not worse, but nope.
So Desric closes the door to the med bay.
I'm pretty sure he trusted
And
Droid a little bit more than Merez.
oh yeah, no, Desric does not trust Merez at all. No, he will never call Merez. Anyway, so Desric, is the HK unit powered on?
Nope, powered off. But it is now in quite good condition.
This may be the dumbest thing you ever do, Desric. And Desric's going to power on the H key.
Full power?
Yep.
Well, it powers up, stiffens for a second, head bumps up, and the eyes turn on.
HK50, right?
Statement. Ah, yes, I am the HK50 protocol droid. I believe you are
Right.
Desric from our last encounter, if he gave names. If not, he says you are the human from the last encounter.
I think he does know me as Desric.
Yeah, I
Well,
believe the rules did have names programmed in.
I forgot what Leo hadn't done yet. I think it was like something with the power.
he'd only ever turned his head on. He hadn't given him full access to his systems. He had repaired everything, but he hadn't given him full access yet. Desric's about to change that. You should be fully powered up. Can you run a diagnostic, please?
Statement. Diagnostics in process. While I am fully powered on, it seems the rest of me is inaccessible. Query. Is Leo around? I believe he was looking into that.
Yeah, that's why I'm powering you up. Leo has had a rather unfortunate accident and requires significant repairs before he'll be operational. I
Alarmed
find myself.
statement. It wasn't anything terrible, was it? Well, even though it's a long query.
I don't know yet. Seems to be a memory malfunction. But I find myself in need of assistance.
Statement. Ah, as you wish. Though I must again let you know I am a protocol droid. Maintenance is a little not my style, or not within my programming.
How about piloting? Combat?
Hold on. Insulted declaration. I am no combat droid. I am a protocol droid. I do not murder.
Can you fly a ship?
Statement. Yes. Or confident statement. Yes. I can fly a little ship quite well.
Good. You just got promoted to co-pilot. Desric is going to sir. Sir, I need your help. Report to the medbay.
About a minute later, you hear him come in, and there's the beeping and whirring, and then he sees DHK activated, and it just literally freezes.
Relax. We're short-staffed at the moment, sir. I need the HK's help. He's going to be co-piloting.
You get a series
Please take
of
a look.
rapid bleeps, blurs, binaries coming in fast.
Whoa, 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 slow down, sir. Desert turns on his comm device to translate binary.
Basically, it's stating that the maker was still not 100% finished and installing many of the safety programs, as well as a few other things. Probably not the most wisest to turn on an assassin droid. To which the HK turns around and says, "Rude declaration. I am no assassin droid. You flying. What is a what would a ball be used in a sport in Star Wars? Name one. I can't think of one.
Hut ball?
Hut
Hot ball.
You floating hut ball.
Hey, get along, you two.
Defensive statement.
I'm.
He insulted me.
Welcome to the galaxy, HK. Everyone insults everyone. As long as he's not shooting you, you're fine.
Annoyed, God, what is that? I hit him, this fucking HK in his crazy way of speech.
Declaration.
Annoyed resignment. Very well, Master. But I am a protocol and etiquette droid. I don't.
And now you're
like
going
this.
to be a co-pilot. Sir, just make sure he has use of his limbs.
You get a hesitant series of bleeps as he flies towards the HK. And he begins to do some mild maintenance. After about 5 minutes, you get a few more bleeps from Sir. The HK droid looks over at him, looks back down, and raises his arm, and begins to fiddle with the fingers.
Good. That looks like progress. Run a second round of diagnostics, please.
Statement. Diagnostics confirms that everything is fully operational, though there is slight damage to memory, possibly due to age.
Yeah, well, no strenuous attempts to recall memory for the time being. Hey, HK? Report to the cockpit. We've got a journey to plan.
Affirmative declaration. Understood, sir. And you know what? Where the heck did the actual token for the HK go?
Let me see if I can track it down.
Okay. But either way, I'm gonna get rid of that dot. But he's on his way to the cockpit. I'm assuming Illy is in the engineering bay still, right?
Yes, she is.
So the door opens and you see the silver HK-50 droid walking out.
Okay, yeah. So to kind of look over her shoulder, see the HK moving along. Just HK, it's good to see you. I wasn't aware you were up and about yet.
He turns his head and sees you. A welcoming statement. Ah, yes. Thank you very much for rescuing me from that place. I am very happy to serve.
That's good
Desert's
to hear.
following the HK out. Ah, good. You've met the ship's mechanic. Illy, meet our new co-pilot.
Is Leo still slouched up against the wall that he was walking into?
No, I'm basically I've set him up sort of beside the console so she can kind of work on him. He's essentially upright, but clearly still a work in progress.
Maybe slightly disassembled.
No, not yet.
Okay. I was just wondering if she, with all the parts she'd taken out, if she'd left any of the chassis open.
Essentially, she was doing a damage assessment, not so much taking him apart yet.
Okay, I thought you'd already removed parts.
Observation. Well, it seems as if he tried to walk through a wall and it wasn't quite successful. Recitation. That must have been quite the memory lapse indeed. Statement. I do so hope he is fixed soon.
So do
You and
I.
me both.
I'll do everything I can for him. And I'll probably need Sir's help when the time comes to actually restore the components.
You see Sir kind of going back and forth somewhat rapidly and shooting out binary, but it doesn't seem to be in the worried pattern. More like slight worry, if anything, but if anything, excited.
Okay, Ellie's gonna tap the control and bring up kind of a same thing as Desert has and a binary translator to read what's being said.
Basically, please do what you can for the Maker. I really want him to come back.
Don't worry,
So I give
sir.
you my word. It's gonna be okay.
At
He
least the
kind of just
best there
starts
is.
circling you, not quickly, but just chirping as he goes. He seems to be happy.
Right. Illy, Doc will be rejoining us shortly. Please make sure he has everything he needs.
I'll make sure medical's straightened away. We're pretty much good to go as far as departure preparation.
And did oh crud, what was the little kid's not the kid's
Sharon?
the
Stands?
Stands, yes. Did Stands talk to you? All the repairs taken care of from our little foyer with the pirates?
No one has talked to Stans yet.
I
Right.
haven't seen him since we got back aboard.
Right. I better go do that before we go. HK, get to the cockpit, lay in a course for Telos. I'll be there shortly.
Declaration. Aye, Captain. I will make the course for Telos. And off he goes.
Desric waits till he can no longer hear the sounds of clanking droid footsteps and says in a rather hushed tone to Illy, double check the coordinates.
I had every intention of it.
I'll be back
Just
shortly.
had Alright. Desmond, did I miss something
Yeah.
about your intention to activate that droid?
No. But for all her abilities, Rose is useless right now. And Leo, this Desric motions over, well, Leo's not any better. You and I can't do this alone. We need help. Even if he's just piloting the ship, at least that frees me to take over one of the other gunnery consoles.
Well, flying a ship from A to B is one thing. Flying in combat is quite something else. Is he programmed for combat flight?
We'll find out what he's programmed for. If you believe him, strictly protocol.
Alright. One other thing.
Oh, Desric turns as he was making his way towards the door.
Don't underestimate Rose. She's far more capable, even in her current state. I don't think she's as helpless as you seem to believe.
I need a crew, Illy. And with that, Desric walks out.
Then let her be part of it.
Okay, I'm not sure how to deal with that because that begs a whole nother conversation, and Desric was already walking away.
Wouldn't be the first time he walked away in order to try and figure out what to say later.
Fair enough. So, Desric is head towards the ramp and just take a quick peek outside to see if Stans is around.
if Stans is there.
Oh, sorry, did I cut out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said Desert was going to walk down the ramp and stick his head out just to see if Stans is around.
He seems to be walking around with a data pad and directing a few people.
Desert will kind of wave him over and walk out to meet him.
As soon as you catch his eye, he starts walking over to you. Ah, yes, Deseret.
How are we looking, Stans? Everything squared away?
Not everything. You did take some decent damage, though. She's definitely flight-worthy.
Well, given our luck, we'll meet them again on the way out. What kind of damage are we looking at?
Mostly scratching on the hull. We fixed a lot of the electrical issues, but the hull wasn't fully repaired.
So, system strain reset to 0, but I'm missing some hit points.
Yes, I don't know how much you were at last episode.
We had 7 strain, 4 hull damage.
Alright, so -2 hull. Hull damage.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And zeroed out the strain, you said?
Yes, strain's gone. And so is the crit.
Okay. Very good.
Either way, we're going to take a quick break.
Okie doke.
Oh, okay. Break time.
Cool. Be right back.
And I'm back.
Lovely.
Hey, tough. Are we the only ones back? So, Tough, I have a very important question for you.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay.
Have you acquired toast?
No, I had an apple this morning, so had an apple. I'm just having a pack of chips now, and yeah.
I was disappointed for a moment.
I'm sorry.
No, you're cool,
Actually,
man.
I actually think we need some. We need to get bread, so I might go out later today and get some bread.
It's just almost routine now that as soon as you get back from break, it's like, I am back. I have acquired toast.
I have a white hoe. Yep. My life on a Thursday morning revolves around toast, usually.
Oh,
I was out last night.
I want to hear Jonas's reaction to this episode so bad. I just imagine when we get to the part where I'm reactivating the HK, there's just strings of expletives, and what the hell are you doing?
You have done a bad thing. A very, very bad thing.
Possibly, but I'm getting really scared for what's going to happen to our group if we keep trying to do adventures with just the three.
We'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that pirate attack, though, could have gone really badly.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Pending
Yep, I can hear you.
events, this might be a very short stream.
Uh-uh.
Everything okay?
The earlier issue.
Gotcha.
Oh, dear. Right. Okay, well, if we have to call it now, this isn't a terrible place.
Wait, what do you have to do with?
Separate game.
Ah,
Nothing we want to put on stream.
Well, I shall hope for good news.
Actually, yeah,
And
because I
I
do got to prepare something I made. So I do so apologize, everyone. The stream will be cutting in here. Um, just some things in another game that's really stupid right now. That said, before I end it completely, I don't have any doctor's appointments for a while, but if I ever have to do a doctor's appointment on the day I stream, if I can't get it really early and it has to be late, I'll try to get a heads up, and we won't have a stream that day because it's getting really hard on second shift to keep up with all this. But until then, sorry about having to cut the stream short. We'll see you guys next time. Later.